What is going on, guys? Welcome to the 27th Pygame tutorial video. In the last video we were talking about getting objects to register some sort of crossover and all of this, and we've done that, and now we kind of want to improve the aesthetics of our game. So our game is pretty much fully functional now. So we've got a snake, we've got an apple, we've got a bunch of rules. We've pretty much done everything functionality wise that we need to for snake. But now we want to actually cover some of the aesthetics, and then eventually we'll package up the game and show how we could distribute the game. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So the first major aesthetics issue, maybe it's kind of lame that they're cubes and stuff, but that's okay. But the thing I want to first start with is right here. So where we have this message that starts in the center, great, but it just kind of, it's obviously off over a little bit. We're not really happy with that, so we're going to go ahead and fix that in this video and get that to be centered in the way that we would like. So that all starts basically in this message to screen function. So in our message to screen function, we basically want to continue doing the same thing, but we want to center the text in a little slightly different way than we've been centering text. So the way that we're going to center text, so here we were blitting based on the location of that text, but actually what we want to do is we want to display the text. And like I was telling you when we wrote this the first time, like text object is actually, it's like an object and there's a rectangle around it, and then we can take that rectangle, take the center of that rectangle, and then center the center of the rectangle, so we can center all text that we want. So to do that, we're going to need to make some changes here. So let's go ahead and get started making those changes. So first of all, we have message to screen, and that I think will basically, we're just going to rewrite all of this for the most part. So I'm going to just comment this stuff out for now and just leave it just in case, same reasons as before. And now what we want to do is we're going to say a few things. So first of all, we have what's called a text surface. And a text surface is just like our Pygame surface, right? Remember, we have various surface objects, and keep in mind you've got surface objects, and you can update those surface objects very specifically if you want. So just keep that in mind. But for now, we've got a text surface, which is where we're going to put the text. So text surface, and then text rect. So this is going to be a tuple. And those objects, or those variables basically, are going to equal font dot are going to equal text underscore objects, and then whatever that message is. So what we want is we want to be able to make a function of text objects, and that we want that function to return the surface data and then also the rectangle of that data. Once that's done, we would say text rectangle dot center. So what is the center, right, of that object? And that attribute will be the result of display width divided by 2 and basically display height divided by 2. So display width divided by 2 and then display height divided by 2, and that's the center of our text rectangle. Then once all that's done, we do the same blit as before, only with different variables. So we would do game display.blit, and then we blit that to the text surface, and then what are we blitting there is the text rectangle. So clearly that makes a lot of sense, but now we need to create this function that returns the text surface and the text rectangle. So for that, we'll just do that right here. And this function name again is going to be define text underscore objects. And what we pass through here is just the text, right? Whatever the text for that object is going to be. So text, we're passing message through, right? We're passing message through text. And actually what we should do as well is we should pass color. So we'll pass message color, and then this is text and color. So we'll pass those things through, and then we're going to say text surface equals font.render, and we want to render the text true, and then the color, whatever that color of the text we want it to be. And then at the end we return text surface, and then the way that we get the rectangle like that corresponds to like all the stuff around the text, we just have to do text surface dot get underscore rect empty parameters, and that will be the rectangle around. So that's returning the text surface and the text rectangle, and then you can see down here text surface, text rect, and then we do what we wanted to do with it. So the message to screen, that should be red. So now that text should be centered. So let's save and run that, and let's go ahead and just crash. And now you see that our text is actually centered completely on the screen. So we'll hit Q to exit, and that's that. Now there's a few other things. First of all, the text is ugly, and then all the other things that we'd already brought up in the previous video that we want to change. So we still want to change the icon. We want to make the text a little bit more readable, maybe choose a different font, and a whole host of other things. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Got that text centered, so that was one major fix. Oh, and then we also want to make the snake look a little more appealable. So all those things coming up. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned in the next video.